What's up, historians? I'm Smith McNeill, and this is Echoes of Freedom. Together, we'll travel to America's most iconic places, uncover hidden stories, and bring the past to life. From the voices of everyday heroes to the legends we thought we knew, we'll listen to the echoes of freedom that shaped our nation. So get ready to explore, learn, and celebrate American history, one story at a time. Good morning, historians. I'm back again, and we're down right here in downtown D.C., and behind me is probably my favorite place to visit in all of Washington, D.C. This is Ford's Theater. It is right here where Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed 161 years ago on April the 14th of 1865. He was here. The Civil War had just ended on April 9th. On April 15th, all the streets, everything around me here would have been filled with people celebrating the end of the Civil War and bringing us back to freedom. You can almost hear the echoes of the fireworks and the cheers and the celebrations and parties that were going on these very streets back in 1865. But on this particular night, this is Good Friday, the Friday before Easter, Lincoln is supposed to go to Grover's Theater to see the play Aladdin. And last minute, he changed his plans to come right over here to Ford's to see Laura Keene. She was a famous actor at the time. It was her 1000th and last performance right here at Ford's Theater. Now, another famous actor who is famous here at Ford's Theater is a man by the name of John Wilkes Booth. And Booth had an extreme love for the South. He was a Southern Confederate sympathizer, as we call him. He loved the South, and he was very upset and very salty that Lee had surrendered to Grant and brought an end to the Civil War. He had been plotting plans for almost a year up to this point to capture the president and other heads of the United States and hold them for ransom in order to, what are the words I'm looking for? Give the South their victory. In other words, Booth wanted to capture the heads of the United States and hold them and say, all right, we will give them back to you if you end the war now. However, once Lee surrendered and brought an end to the Civil War, Booth changed his plans from capture to kill. Now, it's right here. Booth walked up these very streets, walked right in these doors, and began to unfurl his plan. Just down the road, Lewis Powell was ordered to assassinate Secretary of State William Seward. His attempt fails. George Atzerodt, up the road here at the hotel, was told to assassinate Vice President Andrew Johnson. Atzerodt backed out. He couldn't do it. He decided to get drunk instead. The only successful part of this whole plan was Booth killing Lincoln right here behind me in Ford's Theater. Just beforehand, though, if you look right down, you see this sign that says Star. That's the Star Saloon. Booth, moments before shooting Lincoln, walks out of the theater and over into the Star Saloon to have a couple of drinks, saying, "When I leave the stage for good, I will be the most talked about man in America." Of course, everybody thought, well, what could that mean? He's an actor. I guess he's going to do something famous. Well, famous enough it is, because right here in this theater at 10:15 p.m., Booth pulls the trigger and shoots Lincoln in the back of the head. He then jumps over the banister down onto the stage, runs across, throws his knife up in the air, yells "Sic Semper Tyrannis," runs out the back door, mounts up his horse, and heads down towards the Potomac River, across into Maryland, and begin his escape. Booth will be on the run for 26 days before he is shot and killed by federal cavalry who were on the manhunt for him, and that brings an end to the story. Another piece, though, is this building right behind me. When they were trying to figure out what to do with President Lincoln, they were trying to decide, we need to get him back to the White House, we need to get him medical treatment, all this other stuff, and they knew they couldn't get into the White House. He would die on the way there. It's a couple blocks down the road. The White House is about 3/4 of a mile away, just a couple of blocks. Not too far, but they knew he would die if they tried to move him that far. So they thought about taking him to the saloon or somewhere. And even the owner of the saloon said, it should not be said that the President of the United States died in a saloon, not even my own. Frantically looking for places, the man of this house, Mr. Peterson, this is called the Peterson House. He's got a boarding house, kind of like a hotel at the time. He says, bring him here. And so they walk right across the street into this house, and it's in the back room where Lincoln receives medical treatment all through the night and monitor his symptoms to see a rapid decline. And at 7:22 a.m. on April the 15th, Lincoln draws his last breath, and Secretary of War Edwin Stanton says now he belongs to the ages. And that marks the end of Lincoln's life. So we're right here enjoying history, listening to the echoes of freedom. Hope you all have enjoyed this adventure, and we'll see you on the next one.